Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about what is an argument. Now, very important, first thing is an argument does not mean that there is necessarily a fight. That could be with or without a Sith Lord. An argument is when you are trying to use logic to convince someone that they should feel the same way that you feel about a topic. You have an opinion and you want to convince someone else that they should share that same opinion. An argument can be spoken, it can be written, they can be very short, just a single sentence, a paragraph, or what we're going to be working with, which is a multi-paragraph essay. Now, we have been doing a lot of work with 4-paragraph analytical essays. A 5-paragraph argumentative essay is just a little different, and you've probably already guessed it has one additional paragraph. That paragraph is for a counterclaim. Now, we're going to go a little more into that later, but the other components are all still the same. You're still giving that first paragraph is your introduction. You're providing 2 support paragraphs with evidence. You're going to have that new paragraph, which is a counterclaim, and then you have your conclusion. Now, in the introduction, just like in those other essays we're working with before, you still want to grab your reader's attention. Say something interesting, give them a statistic, something that's going to get them wanting to read the rest of what you have to say. Then you need to give a little bit of background information about the topic, a little bit of information about why this matters. Why should they follow through with reading the rest of what you have to say? The last sentence of your first paragraph is your claim. Now, your claim here is your opinion. You want to state your opinion and then 2 reasons you feel people should agree with that opinion. Together, the claim and the 2 reasons, that's called your thesis. Now, the first support paragraph, you're going to start that just like we did before with a topic sentence. That topic sentence, you're going to restate that claim and you give the first reason that you just presented, but make sure you use different words. You're then going to provide some evidence, some facts to support your ideas, and then very important, you have to explain how there's a connection between your evidence and your claim, that opinion that you're trying to convince people of. Don't forget that last part. The second support paragraph is just like the first, except this time you're starting with that second reason for the thesis. And again, evidence presented and connect the evidence to your claim. Now, that new paragraph is our counterclaim. This might seem a little strange at first, but in your counterclaim, what you're actually going to do is state what is the opposite opinion. Somebody who has a different opinion from yours, that exact opposite opinion, what would they say? What would their argument be? That's called a counterclaim. Now then, in that same 4th paragraph, you're going to give evidence why the counterclaim does not make much sense or why it's not as strong as your claim. Because remember, the whole goal of your paper is to convince people that your opinion is the correct one. Then last, that brings us to our conclusion. In our conclusion, you again restate the thesis, again paraphrase yourself, make sure you use different words. You go over again the big ideas of your paper, just a few sentences for the entire paper so far, and then you can end with the who cares method. Why does it matter that you just wrote this paper? What is the next step that somebody might take with this idea? Okay? The next step for us today is you're going to complete the Introduction to Argument activity sheet.